Hi, this is the second video in the Visual Item Database tutorial series. In this one we will be looking at the main features of the Visual Item Database and how to use them. So here I have imported the Visual Item Database package. Assuming this is your first time importing the Visual Item Database into your project, you should import all the items in it, all the files in it, as I have done here. Now after Unity refreshes, you can go up to the Assets, Visual Item Database and Open Database. If it's your first time, you will see that there are no items here, no item types, and you'll get this message. Basically, this is what happens when you don't have any item types yet. So let's add some. To do that, we have another window called the Item Type Control window. The Item Type Control window allows you to control several aspects of the Visual Item Database regarding adding and removing types, item types, subtypes, or type groups. We'll be looking at subtypes and type groups in future videos. For today, we'll be focusing on just types and just item types. So you'll see we have a new type or an existing type. An existing type, you can imagine, is just for the default types that come with the Visual Item Database. So here we have 5 types. You can use them or you can use them just as examples to learn about the database, what we'll be doing here. So item types are just like categories, you can imagine, for your items. Each item type has a unique set of variables in it that is different from other item types. For example, generic item type, you need, for any item type, you need a name and you need a class that will decide what variables are in it. So let's select one. If I go into Visual Item Database folder, scripts, and I can choose item base. I'll click add type. We just wait for Unity to refresh here, and then we can go ahead and open the window again. Now you can see that message is gone and we have the generic item type selected at the top. The window has been split into 2 sides. The window has been split into 2 sides. On the left side, you will see all your items, and on the right side, you'll have its properties. So let's add an item by clicking on this green button. Okay, let's add a few. So here we have items that were added to the generic item type. On the right, you will see the properties of the selected item, which is highlighted in blue and yellow. So we can add some properties. Let's give it a name. So let's say a rock, for example. You can see the item name variable is a special one because, as you can see, it's used to update the view on the left side. The item icon variables, another unique one because it will update the view on the left side. So let's see here, and it's been updated. So you can see the name and the icon of the item can be used to quickly look and sort items on left. It makes it easy to find the item you're looking for. So if we have a few other items, let's say rocky object, for example, or something, rock 2, block. This is just a random names to show the searching functionality of Visual Item Database. So you can search inside all the items inside a single item type. So here we have the generic item type. So if I want to search for all the objects which have names that contain, let's say, rock in them, so I can just say rock. You can see everything's been filtered and I have only these few objects. Let's say I want the ones which have OCK at the end in them. So this one also contains the OC and K letters, and so it's shown. The position of the letters does not matter as long as they are in the name. Another feature is moving items, so you can just move their position here. So you can see on the left we have 1, 2, 3, which are the positions of this item. So if I use these two buttons on the right, I can move an item up and down, just like so. So this allows you to sort your items and arrange them in a way that makes sense for you if you would like to. However, it does not affect functionality in any way, so feel free to experiment and put them the way you like. So if we repeat this experiment of searching for the rock item, you can see that we see the actual numbers in the list of items in this type shown here. So the rock 2 is actually the 8th item. And items can also be in separate pages. So by default it's set to 100 items per page, and any items above 100 will be separated into the second page, and so on. So let's add a few more items. So now we have 12 items. However, we can only see 10 because the other 2 has been sent to the second page. If you can use these two buttons, and we can see our 2 other items here. So if I call this feather, for example, let's give it a sprite so you can see it. And there we go. And now this is on the second page, and we have some items here on the first page. So let's say you want to search for feather. So I'll just, there we go. You can see even though it's on the second page, it shows on the search. So the search ignores the separation of pages and shows you all the items that contain the letters you typed. Do keep in mind though that searching is not case sensitive. Now we were on the first page, so let's say you might have 10 pages of items, for example, and you want to see the item, go to the page of that item. So to do that, you can just select the item and click this jump to item page button. You can see we directly went to the second page, the page of this that contains this item, and you can obviously change properties as you like. You can also duplicate and delete items by simply using these two buttons. So if I press this plus button, the item will get duplicated and will have duplicate in its name. This really helps when you have many items that differ only very little in some properties. So you can quickly duplicate it, adjust a few things, and you are done. Another thing, if you'd like to delete an item, you can simply press this minus button. You can also have a dialog pop up to confirm that you want to delete this item by checking this box here if it's not checked. So you'll get this. If you do delete an item and you want it back, you can simply use Ctrl Z to undo your action, or Ctrl Y to redo your action. So let's bring it back. Another feature or thing you can do with the visual item database is have multiple item types. You can have again as many item types as you like. So let's add another item type. Your assets, control window, and add existing. So let's add a melee weapon item type. Scripts and item melee in this case. It depends on if you are adding a new type. Like here, you might choose your own custom class, but we'll be looking at how to make those in a future video. So I have it's called melee weapon, and I'll use this class for it. Let's add it. Right, it's refreshed. Let's go on open database. Now you can see we have this new tab at the top, new button that contains the mail weapons. So if I add an item, you will see it has all the same properties of the generic class, generic type, but some new properties that do not exist there, which we can call unique properties. Like, for example, here we have added damage. All item types contain this minimal set of properties that exist in the generic type. I will look at detail in a future video to which class. It basically uses the item base class, so all item database classes must inherit from the item base class, but we'll look at this in the future video. So now let's call this sword. Let's give it an icon. Now just make sure that you understand searching is only within one item type. So if I search for rock, for example, I'll not find anything here because rock only exists in the generic item type. We can also remove item types at will. However, do note that removing item types will permanently delete all the items in it, and you cannot undo this action. So let's look at how to remove an item type. Let's say I want to remove the generic item type. So I'll go to remove type and simply select which one to remove. In this case it's the generic. I'll remove it. Wait for Unity to refresh here, and we're done. We can also open it using the command shortcut Ctrl+Shift+D or Command+Shift+D if you are on a Mac. So it's right, and it opens. You can see now I only have the melee weapon item type left because that one was deleted along with any items in it. I hope this has been a useful introduction to the main features and basic usage of the visual item database. Future videos will look at the at other features of the item database, including subtypes and type groups. But this should get you up to speed to use the visual item database, at least in a basic way. I hope you have found this useful, and see you next time.